let's see if it works this time, man. I had to crank this thing back up. I don't know, something was wrong with the sound. Y'all couldn't hear me.
Turn left onto Leonard Avenue.
Hell, I might as well start all over from the beginning. All right. Here it is. So I started off and the sound was all screwy. I don't know what I did, but we back now. Hopefully y'all can hear me this time. I don't know what happened, man. Y'all couldn't hear me last time. But Jake Paul is what I want to talk about. And my bro, Mr. Two Hands Up. Mr. Two Hands, I was driving this morning. I was doing some stuff. I had a lot of stuff to do today. So I was driving around and I just went and flipped on YouTube. Let me see if somebody live, and lucky me, I got lucky. Reaper Gang Radio was cranking. So Two Hands was cranking, and he was talking about Jake Paul and, you know, the fans and how people talking about him. D Hodges in the building. Shout out to D Hodges and the LDBC. Salute to you. D Hodges, can you hear me, bro? Because I just sparked this live back up. They couldn't hear me.
Continue for 3 miles.
They couldn't hear me before. Can you hear me now? Is the sound coming in? Because they couldn't hear me before. But, so, okay, all right, cool. All right, thanks, bro. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about this whole Jake Paul situation and, you know, how people hating on the fact that this guy and his brother, you know, these gimmick fights. Listen, man, any fad or trend in anything, right? If you got a fad or a trend in anything, it's popular for a while. And I think, you know, at first, all right, Haplo, there we go. All right, cool. So at first, like, I was along the line of the people like, man, these damn Paul brothers, I wish somebody just beat up Jake Paul so we can get rid of him. But now not so much, because, you know, listening to Two Hands this morning, man, he brought up a whole lot of, Lisa, there it is. Yeah, sound's fixed now. He brought up a whole lot of good points about Jake Paul and Logan Paul and everything that's going on. Look, man, I was one of the ones who weren't with it. At first, I even said, I'm not even talking about this nonsense. I'm not with it, but we got to admit something here. These guys have definitely brought life back to boxing. Even when they leave the sport, a lot of those eyes are going to stay on the sport. A lot of those eyes are going to stay on the sport. You know, if they think that Jake Paul is one of the greatest boxers, wait till they start seeing some of these other guys fight. You think they're going to leave and not watch boxing anymore just because Jake Paul and Logan Paul don't fight? No. Sports in general, once you get the taste for a sport, I don't care what it is, tennis, bowling, NASCAR, basketball, football, once you get the taste for a sport, you're going to keep supporting it. You know, athletes come and go. You think when Jordan left basketball, people stopped watching basketball? Hell no, they still watch basketball, they just talk about Jordan. So, I think that with the way boxing fell off, boxing went down to 16th in this nation, the most popular sports. 16th, guys, right? Come on, man, give these guys their respect. Don't hate on them. You know, my only gripe that I had with Jake Paul was, you know, stop saying you're the greatest boxer. Stop saying you this, that, and the third, because you're not a boxer yet. You haven't fought a boxer. When you fight a boxer, then we'll call you a boxer. That was it. That was really my only gripe. As far as him making money, man, again, shout out to Two Hands again, because every one of you guys would do it too. But let's be honest about it. If you could get in the ring and fight somebody that you know you can beat up for millions of dollars, who in here would not do that? Anybody who says they wouldn't is a damn lie. I would. I ain't even in boxing shape, but if I was in the ring and it's somebody I'm pretty sure I know I can beat up, bro, I'm in there for millions of dollars. So we can't hate on Jake and Logan for what. Logan ain't won a damn thing, and he's still he ain't won anything, but he's still getting in there. You know why? Millions of dollars is why. And so ain't no need to hate on those kids for getting their money, bro. They utilizing their fame they build on YouTube. They cashing in on it. You know, but to sit here and act like that these guys didn't bring a certain amount of attention back to the sport of boxing, that's tomfoolery, bro. And I don't believe either that when those guys leave, that all of the eyes are gonna leave off of boxing. No way, bro. Boxing's too good of a sport, too exciting. That, you know, with this Triller going on and they're fusing boxing with hip hop, and you know, we got Snoop and all of these guys, Sweetie performing and all of that. It's bringing that long needed young crowd. The older guys, you know, 40s and out 40s like me and other people, we're gonna die off eventually. If it's only us watching the sport, then the sport dies, right? Let's be honest, they help keep this sport alive. Not just them, you know, the Tyson, the Roy Jones, the gimmick fights and all of that. Because even young kids, my son know Tyson, never really watched boxing like that. Let me see, I'm at a stoplight. Haplo in the building. G-Man, my brother G-Man. Haplo type, LaRon, Lisa Bells. What's good? Appreciate y'all coming through. I just got to take this ride downtown, guys. I've been doing a whole lot of work, man. Not physical work. I can't really do too much physical work, but I've been doing a whole lot of work back and forth down to these offices trying to get this LLC established and stuff. But I just wanted to kick it a little bit, man. I didn't do the live this morning, so I wanted to kick it with you guys. And plus, it's the afternoon time. A lot of you guys probably haven't seen me because I only do the morning shows. But, you know, I don't have nothing about Jake Paul. I actually hope Jake Paul don't retire, to tell you the truth, man. With all of these fights, like, all of these fights falling apart, cats catching COVID, and, you know, arbitration and all of this nonsense with Fury. One thing we need in the sport of boxing is more fans. The more fans you have, the more popular your sport becoming. We fell off, bro. We fell off to like 16th in the nation. 16th. We climbed back up. But, you know, this recent climb, I don't care what anybody says. It has to do with these Paul brothers. I'm not saying they get all the credit, but these gimmick fights, Ryan Garcia and his social media presence. You think Jake Paul and Logan Paul, and plus they cool with Ryan. So you think they ain't noticed, like, damn, this dude ain't even really fighting anybody. He making millions. You know, he's demanding contracts and all of this. Let's see if we can dive into this. They dive into the game and Jake Logan gets a fight with Floyd. Man, you know how many people would want to get a fight with Floyd? Win, lose, or draw just to get a fight with Floyd to get that money. I'll go fight Floyd Mayweather. I'll get in the ring and fight Floyd Mayweather. I don't give a rat's ass if he knocks me out. Be a couple of million in the bank, right? Come on, man. Like, I'm not going to hate on these kids for getting the money. I'm not going to sit here and act like they weren't involved in bringing this sport back to life. It's life in boxing. You can tell when you look at the YTBC.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto Neil Avenue.
All right. When you look at the boxing community, the YTBC, and I'm just going by when I started, because I started about 2 years and some months ago. I started my channel and everything. And when I started in the YTBC, it wasn't as many channels flourishing as it is now. There are a whole lot of channels flourishing. A lot of channels that blew up. 16, 17,000. It used to be
Take
certain
the second
channels.
right onto Neil
Even
Avenue.
these channels like in the LDBC blew up. Look, that's new eyes on the sport, man. That's the social media generation. Everything's
In
about
1,000
social media
feet,
now.
turn left onto
And
King Avenue.
these guys have a lot of social media presence. Every like, every share, other people look and see, well, what's going on with that? Why is this trending? Right? Let's check this sport out. You think when those guys retire that these eyes are going to leave? They're not going to leave.
Turn
bro.
left onto
Not
King
all of
Avenue.
them. you'll have a good portion of these guys that will take off, and they were only in it for Jake Paul.
Continue
But
on King
I have a
Avenue
lot
for
of
1
fans.
mile.
One of the young boys that come to the channel, 150 Dream Team. He's in school. He's in his prime time. What's good with you? He's in his prime. He's in school. And it's kids like that, 20s, 19, 21, 24. A lot of these guys haven't been on the sport. And if you're going to sit up here and say that there's guys like Jake Paul that didn't bring that attention to the sport, you're a damn lie, bro, because boxing hasn't been doing anything to bring attention to the sport. It's a damn shame that this is the best year that we've had in boxing for a while. With all of the fights that's been postponed, delayed, and called off altogether, all of the COVID incidences, this sport has been live as it's liver than it's been in many years. And it's starting to get more and more attention. More and more attention. Gotta give respect where respect is due. I know a lot of hardcore boxing fans don't want to accept the fact that these young boys, Jake Paul, has brought life back to boxing, but he absolutely has, bro. Shout out to Two Hands Up. He was saying it this morning on Reaper Gang Radio. The sport of boxing hasn't been doing it. The sport of boxing been screwing us. As fans, we've been getting screwed by the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? So it's not boxing. It takes Showtime. You think Showtime signed that dude for no reason? They understand that there's money to be made off of this guy. You think Showtime gives a rat's ass about gimmick fights? No, they actually invite the gimmick fights. They invite that. So man, we gotta stop with the hate. If you don't like the fact that Jake Paul's calling himself a boxer, I don't really pretty much like that either, because I don't think he's a boxer until he fights one. But we can see, he was exposed. As much as people want to say, he was exposed in that fight with Tyron Woodley, because most of these boxers, B-level boxers, any B-level boxer would beat the hell out of Tyron Woodley, a B-level fighter. So Jake was definitely exposed. Like, he's not ready, bro. He's not ready. This is why he's not fighting. Tommy Fury will beat him up. But there's no need for Jake Paul to fight Tommy Fury.
Will be on
There's
the
no
left.
need for Jake Paul to fight a real boxer and prove anything. To hell with what D. Jeff say. And I say that now. To hell with what D. Jeff say. I'm making millions and I'm not fighting real fighters. So F you. I'm cool with that. There's no need for him. What does he have to prove?
Your destination is on the left.
Bro. This is not, boxing is not his dream. It's not his ambition. He's not, this dude is in it for the money. He's in it for the money. He's not trying to be the greatest boxer alive. He might talk all of that nonsense, but that's just cap, bro. That's cap. That's entertainment. That's something to get the juices flowing, get people angry. And it works, because people get angry when Jake Paul says these things. What do you mean? Listen to his fans talk about the greatest. So what, bro? So what? I went through hell and high water when I was dumping on Ryan Garcia. Now I know nobody give me any problems about that, because they know I was right. But I went through hell and high water when I was dumping on Ryan Garcia about the nonsense he was doing. But Ryan Garcia was built off of social media. He wasn't built in the ring, because he ain't done nothing in the ring. So he wasn't built, he was built off social media. So these guys took that same type of platform and made more money than him. How you gonna hate on that? And in the process, brought eyes back to the sport that we love. Can't hate that, man. Hoplo said Jake versus Berlanga. Yo, Edgar Berlanga will. That's homicide, Hoplo. That's homicide. You can't do that. Don't do it, D. Don't take the Floyd fight. It'll be another Mayweather versus Gotti. It'll be worse than that, LeRon. Floyd would beat the living hell out of me, dog. But I'll take it for some millions. You got me messed up. Yeah, I didn't do it this morning, G man. I didn't do the live. Been so busy, man. I do apologize to all you guys. Jake holding the big dollar fights in his back pocket. All he has to do is fight a real boxer. I don't think he does, though, LeRon. I don't think he has to fight a real boxer. If he fights a real boxer, it's going to be if he fights a real boxer and he wins, it's going to be a low-level fighter, right? And so he won't get any respect out of it. So the only thing that'll happen is Jake Paul will enter a fight and he'll have a tough fight for nothing, right? Because if it's a low-level fighter, he's not going to get too much respect. So he might as well keep fighting the Fugazi fights and make the millions. Again, he's not a boxer, so he shouldn't go and take the risks that these boxers take. He has companies, other sources of income. He's not doing this for survival. He's not doing this to be in the Hall of Fame. He's not doing this for the love of the sport to achieve, right? He's doing this for income purposes. So taking unnecessary risk when you can continue to get that income. G-Man Boxing with the super chat, appreciate you, brother. So taking the unnecessary risk when you're not doing it for the sport, when you're not doing it for accomplishments and achievements, there's no sense in that, bro. There's no sense in that. I think, and I wanted Jake Paul to get beat up so he can get out of boxing, but I don't think so right now. At this point in time, I would like to see Jake Paul continue in boxing because, I would like to see him continue in boxing because it's just bringing more awareness to the sport. And it's our job as content creators, and it's the sport of boxing's job to keep these eyes on the sport. If they can do that, if we can, keep the attention, because we're the media for boxing now. Forget about ESPN and Fox Sport 1 and all of that. The Zone's doing a pretty good job. Akron Barak, I like those guys. But we are the media for boxing. So we have to do our part to keep these fans locked in as well. And boxing has to do their part. Tank Davis seems to be wanting to step up. Will Floyd and Ellaby send him in that direction? We shall see. But if these new eyes come to boxing and the sport of boxing can put on these fights to keep that attention there, why you hating on Jake Paul? I think a lot of people are mad at Jake and Logan Paul because they're making so much money and they're not fighters. But as I said, man, as Mr. Two Hands said, all of you guys would do it just the same. I would, man. I would. G-Man can actually box. G-Man can get in there. G-Man, if you could get in there and say beat up Tommy Fury for $2 million, wouldn't you go beat him up? If you could go, G-Man, if you could set up a fight and say, yeah, I'm a YouTuber, you popular, whatever, and say box a couple of UFC fighters for a few million, wouldn't you do it? I would. I certainly would. Yeah, there you go, G-Man. I fancy my chances. Hell yeah, bro. Why not? Hell, win, lose, or draw, at least you come out a couple of $1 million richer. Hell, I'd do it for $500,000. You know what type of things I could do for my businesses with that kind of money? And then you don't have to make a loan, man, please. I would do it in a heartbeat. But anyway, guys, I'm to my spot now. I had to get out of here. I just wanted to kick it with you guys for a while, man. Been doing just the morning shows. For all of you guys here, 7:30 to 8:30 Eastern time. I do a morning show every morning, and I'm dropping some shorts here and there. Been really busy with business, guys. We're not going nowhere. That's why I'm doing the morning shows. I'm keeping the channel intact. We're not going nowhere. Just when I finish with these few projects, then I'll crank up a little more. But as of right now, it's just that morning show from 7:30 to 8:30. Talk about 5 or 6 different topics in the morning, and then I put out some shorts. So y'all check the shorts. Y'all check me out when y'all get the chance. D. Jeff, I always love you guys, man. He said, I'll gladly call out Canelo and take a beating for a few. Hell yeah. Me too, G, man. Haplo said, Jake is a modern day gorgeous George. Oh, I remember gorgeous George Haplo. That's funny. Derek Clark, he said, it is what it is. Just disappointing to see him sell out while real good fights don't sell. Yeah, No interest in Jake Paul or Mayweather circus fight. Yeah, and I don't have much interest in it either, but those sellout crowds is what's going to bring more attention back. And that is kind of disappointing, bro. It is. When you see Pacquiao numbers, right? Did you see that? That was abysmal. This is Manny Pacquiao. So that's what the sport of boxing has resorted to. Because the old school fans are, shout out to Two Hands again, they're so ticked off with the sport of boxing, they don't want to give their money to this nonsense. It might be a good fight on the main event, but it's trash. But then that fight goes and sell out. So they also bring in people to the sport that's willing to pay. Man, we need to stop hollering about this and accept it for what it is. Jake Paul ain't no damn boxer. He still ain't a damn boxer. But I love you too, Queen Lisa. But they're bringing attention to the sport. Jake Paul, keep doing your thing. Hey guys, I'm gonna talk to you later. I gotta get out of here, go into this building, get some business taken care of. And y'all know how I always end this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.